So about the meet on last Sunday, a lot of things happened that affected my performance, and that's an understatement. I'll be quick. I was prepared, for sure. I felt prepared. I dare say, I was the strongest I've ever been. It just didn't translate to new numbers. As you can see, I haven't really slept much. I usually do about 4 hours of sleep due to the night shifts, and then I will do another couple of hours before my next shift, and that's how I usually train. By the way, just an asterisk. So Friday night, car breaks down at about 6:15, I believe it was, in the evening, and I am pushing the car with my girl, who usually films my videos. She records my videos for the channel, most of them. So we are pushing the car to my mechanic, to the shop, for 340 meters. I mean, it's not extreme, no, but when you are a heavier athlete and you are competing Sunday morning, it is definitely not ideal. I mean, I'm not competing with strongman, no offense, but I mean, I love strongman, but I'm just saying that my cardio sucks. And I am at a point where I need to rest, and that is definitely not resting. So my hamstrings were a little tight. My calves, I felt it in my calves. It went well. I mean, we pushed it. I was super pissed, so I didn't feel it at the time when it happened, but you know. And then Saturday morning, I go to weigh myself with my sister's car. Shout out to my sister. I end up spending, I can't remember how many hours I was on the road, 8 or 9, without exaggeration, probably 10 in total, because I now have her car, which I got Friday night, and then her car fucking breaks down. I'm not making this shit up either. It's total bullshit, but it did happen. So without going into too much detail, because I don't like discussing my personal life on here, I had to do a few things for them. I had to, pick them up, obviously, right? And I ended up eating very little on Saturday. I went from last Saturday, I guess 10 days ago now, I was 138 and a half kg, which was pretty heavy for me. I knew I was too heavy to function properly. It's too heavy for me, for my skeleton. I'm not a very large person. I have to eat to be at that body weight, which is, I think it's like 305 pounds, which is almost at the limit of my weight category. So I thought, I'm just gonna drop a couple of kg, 5 pounds, and I'm good. Saturday of the day of the weigh-ins, that is 5 days ago, I am 132.5 kg, which is fucking terrible. Which is, I don't know what that is now. 290, 292, which is exactly the weight that I competed at in June, but it's not the weight that I was at my best during my training peak. I didn't peak at 292.5, whatever the fuck that is. I picked at 305. So you can imagine it's almost 15 pounds of fat. I'm guessing not too much muscle. I mean, I'm not that muscular, but it's also water. It's stress is a huge factor when it comes to these things. Like right now, as I'm talking to you, I weighed myself before I left the house, and I was 136.5 kg. Now, where was that weight on Saturday and Sunday, the day of the contest? Who the fuck knows? I cannot answer you that. I'm not that experienced with weight loss. I usually don't try to lose weight. I usually try to maintain and or gain weight. Because like I said, I have to eat to be this heavy. I'm not a naturally a big individual. So I have to do, throughout the year, summer or winter, 4,000 to 5,000 calories a day, regardless whether I like it or I'm sick or my my feelings are hurt or whatever. No matter what happens, I gotta eat. I have to eat a lot of food. I'm sure that affected it a lot. Plus the lack of sleep, plus the fact that I ended up sitting for dinner at 10:30 in the night on Saturday. That didn't help at all either. And then I had to wake up at 7 o'clock on Sunday morning to go compete. And, you know, I mean, 7 o'clock in the morning, when you're warming up for squats at 10:15 in the morning. Like I put a bar on my back 3.5 hours later, which is not ideal. I mean, it's not what I'm used to. I am used to training in the morning, because we do train in the morning like half of the month, and the rest of the month is usually in the evenings, because I work at 10 in the night. I'm used to not training with a lot of sleep. I'm used to maxing out and getting PRs without a lot of sleep. But competition, 9 attempts. I did 8 attempts. I'm gonna get to that real quick. I promised this video was not gonna be too long, so I'm gonna get to the contest, the actual attempts right now. Now that I'm done with all the bullshit. So the squats felt okay. I knew it from the right off the bat that I was not 100%. So I thought, realistically, I'm not gonna get a PR, which I was looking for. But I'm gonna be close, and I did end up getting really close with 245, which is like if I took that last winter, like literally a year ago, it would have been a PR. But I got a great PR of 250 squat, kilos, obviously, 550 pound PR, 10 pound, 22 pound PR, and a 550 squat in June. So I wasn't crying about it, but I thought it would be nice if I could get a small PR. This time I didn't. Moving on to the bench. Now, my personal problem, it seems like I got a lot of problems. My personal problem with the squats in contests is that the racks in the warm-up area are never close. I need the racks to be like a pyramid shape from bottom to top. And when the racks they cannot be changed. They cannot move when the racks are like a box shaped, or I guess that's what I'm trying to say. It means I have to have my hands in, and I cannot. My shoulder blades and my elbows cannot compute that. They cannot register the fact that I need to hold the bar closer. It's extremely painful for me. I do some mobility through the week, once or twice per week. I'm not super religious about it, but I'm just not, I guess, how can I say it? I mean, I'm not a physiotherapist. I'm not built to hold the bar closer. I just can't. It's incredibly painful. My shoulders still hurt. Rotator cuff, rear delts, especially the left side, which is stiff as fuck, is in quite a lot of pain right now. So I mean, I know when the squat is that painful that the bench is gonna suffer too, and it did. So my bench, I benched 165 kg, and I mean, it was a maximum effort. I don't think I could have added 2.5 kg or 5 pounds more to that fucking bar. And I knew it. I was still kind of in the game. I thought, okay, you're not going to get PRs again, which happened in three continuous contests. And I have been very well aware of that since I started powerlifting. I mean, I was aware that you're not gonna keep getting stronger every fucking meet. And this is what I tell newbies and the guys in my gym, the commercial gym, who are not lifters. Like 9 out of 10 of them don't. I mean, I guess none of them powerlifts. But what I tell them when it comes to the bench press, because all they do is bench, is you're not gonna get stronger every time. You know, if that was the case, we would all be world champions or European champions within 5 years. Can you imagine? I mean, just realistically speaking, like, you know, if I've been competing in powerlifting for 10 years now, and this December, it's almost December, and I have been powerlifting since June of 11, 12 years now, 12 and a half. So if that was the case, I would be an elite athlete in a very short amount of time. But this didn't happen. It doesn't happen to 75, 80%, probably 90% of the athletes on the planet. There's a very small percentage of people that are very, very powerful to begin with. You cannot just start a fucking wimp and be a fucking beast of strength in just a few years. You need good genetics. Obviously, you have to not have a job that kills you and all that shit. Age doesn't help either. I started powerlifting at 27, was it? No, wait. I started powerlifting at 30 years old, exactly 30 years old, just a few days after my birthday. So anyway, bench sucked, and I knew it, and actually dropped. I lowered my opener. I had my opener at 162.5 kg, which was my second attempt, and it was pretty heavy. And I'm very glad that I did, because obviously I'm going for a total, and then I'm gonna move on to the deadlifts, because this ended up being 10 minutes anyway. And the deadlift was also, I mean, I knew it, of course, when everything else felt heavy and you're a little bit off in everything, you're not gonna get a fucking just waving at the neighbors, you're not gonna get a deadlift PR. I mean, you know, it's just, I guess 9 out of 10 people wouldn't, unless you're a fucking miracle. So I opened with 230, which is just above 500 pounds. I think it's like 505. I'm guessing right now. I'm just pulling numbers out of my ass. And the second attempt was 250 kilograms, which I have done in the past 3 or 4 consecutive contests, moving on to getting a bigger number and or a PR. But the 250 kind of swung away from me. I think my shins were too close to the bar and I felt it. And I got 3 red lights. I'm still wondering about that decision, I'll be honest with you, because the bar never descended before it started ascending again. Like, you're allowed to have the bar pause, like the bar can stop ascending, and then it can go up again, up to a lockout, which was a decent lockout regarding how tired I was. I mean, I was a 95% effort. But I got 3 red lights, and then I thought, you know, because I gotta work Monday night, and I know that I'm gonna be destroyed. So I thought there's no point in attempting 250, because it would give me a 660 kilogram total, but I was not going for that. I have a 685 total, which I got in June this year. So I mean, I'm not gonna kill myself for, you know, to be under 25 kg. It's just not worth it. So I didn't take a third attempt. Thinking back, if I had a choice right now, I would have gone and probably pulled it conventional just for the hell of it. I'm sure I could have moved it. I don't know if I would have logged it out, but I'm sure I could have moved the weight a little bit just for fun, just to see if I could do it. I'm sure rested I can do it, but yeah, I've done 530 for a triple 2 years ago, so I'm definitely stronger now than I was 2 years ago. But I do think that was an unfair decision. The judge came after the meet, and she's a very nice lady, of course, and we spoke about it. I mean, I wasn't crying, but I thought, I went to the secretary, what do you call it, to the table, and I said, I'm done. I'm not gonna take another one. So she came and said, you know, yeah, she just told me that, you know, it was close, but I didn't get the decision. And I said, understandable, and you know, whatever. It didn't matter, because it was not a PR. It should matter, I guess. Some people would be pissed about it, but mistakes are made. It's the human factor. I get it. Same thing happened last year during my attempt for a PR, and I didn't get it again. So I don't know if there's a pattern there, but I mean, you're tired. It's the 8th and 9th attempt, and I am going for bigger numbers. I didn't compete just to participate, which I have done a couple of times, but yeah, that's it. I want to thank, of course, my girl Pavlina, who is always there, always supportive. She's my biggest supporter. She feeds me most of the time, because I don't have time. I'm not at the house most of my day, and she films my videos as well. Aside from this one and just a few others, I usually have her recording my videos. Shout out to my friend Manos Marizas. He's my sponsor with Armlifting Greece. He's I dare say he's my best friend, and he was there to smack me and push me and smack me around and kick my ass throughout the contest. I could hear him screaming at me. Although I did black out in a few attempts and I saw stars and stuff, I could still hear his voice. And of course, a special shout out to my sister, who, whose help, I screwed up my English, I'm sorry, but I would most likely not have competed at all, and I would not take that. I would rather, of course, go and fail than not go at all. There's, you know, no point in not going all the way. When you start something, you have to finish it. What else? Shout out to my sponsor, of course, Monster Power. I want to thank the organizers, of course. Great atmosphere, friendly atmosphere. The athletes were cool. I met a couple of new people. It's always nice to go meet people because I do love the sport. I'm not a very social person. On the opposite, even doing this right now, it's not easy for me. But whatever, I'm not that shy. So I got to meet a couple of new people, a couple of new guys in the heavier categories, and I was cool. Just good people sharing ideas about the sport and shit. And I'm gonna do something next week. I want to get back to grip. I really miss doing grippers and some grip handles. And since earlier this year, I promised I was gonna do a grip collection video, and I am promising you right now this is gonna happen in December for sure. So yes, moving on with everything. The subscribers are going up. I think I'm getting like a couple of subscribers. I think getting like 5 per week, which is insane. I never thought it was going to happen. This is just a very small underground channel, as you can imagine. So that means a lot to me. I appreciate the constructive comments. I appreciate the stupid comments. It's all welcome. And that's it. I'm out.